The sky was dark long before dawn broke in Tacloban City on November 8, 2013. Kristeta Boko, a mother of four, had heard about the incoming storm. But like most people in her neighborhood, she didn't expect that storm to be the one that would nearly wipe her city off the map. Her house, like many others near the coast, was simple, just a one-story structure with hollow blocks and a metal roof. It had always been enough to shelter her family, but that morning the wind howled like a monster, and the rain didn't fall, it pierced. The walls began to rattle. Neighbors were screaming. Panic spread like wildfire. Then came the water, not from the sky but from the sea. Kristeta heard a roaring like anything she'd ever heard before. A wall of water higher than a coconut tree came rushing in. It wasn't just a flood, it was a storm surge. The sea had swallowed the land. She only had seconds to decide. She grabbed ropes, one she normally used for laundry, and tied her four children together, and then tied them all to her own waist. "If we die," she said later, "we die together. But I will not let the sea take my children one by one." The current smashed through their home. Wood cracked, roofs flew. The water picked them up like they were paper. Kristeta clung to a piece of their rooftop, now floating as the family was swept away. The water was bitter cold and strong. Waves slammed them from every direction. She couldn't see clearly, but she felt the tightness of the rope. And that was enough. She knew they were still with her. For hours, they floated, sometimes submerged, sometimes barely able to breathe. One of her children cried, "Mama, I'm tired." Another whispered, "Don't let go." Kristeta kept telling them, "I won't. We'll survive this. We have to." Finally, after nearly half a day of clinging to life, the waters receded. Kristeta and her children were left among the ruins. Houses were gone. People were missing. The land was flattened, but they were alive. Bruised, cold, hungry, but alive. They walked barefoot through muddy roads, stepping over debris and fallen electric lines. Searching for shelter, a few kind strangers gave them dry clothes. Others shared crackers and water. Kristeta's story eventually spread. When she was interviewed by a local journalist weeks later, she broke down in tears, not just from what she had lost, but because she still had everything that mattered. Her four children, her rope, her faith, and a story that would remind the world of what love and survival truly mean.